So you want to play the old PSP Monster Hunter games, including Monster Hunter Freedom, Monster Hunter Freedom 2, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, and Monster Hunter Portable 3rd? Well, this is the video for you. Hi, I'm Ross from RPM, and this is the definitive guide to emulating PSP Monster Hunter games. Now, Capcom unfortunately has no plans to remaster or remake any of some of the best games from the PSP generations, especially at this point in the franchise. The only current way to play these games is to emulate them using a computer or in some cases a phone. If you have a PSP, you can't play online, and it's also unreasonable to buy a piece of hardware just for one game. Thanks to said emulation, however, you can now enjoy all entries at the touch of a hand. So, in this video, I'm going to cover how to set up the PSP emulator PPSSPP, download each of the PSP Monster Hunter games, and configure their controls for an Xbox controller, but you can use any, for the best optimal playthrough. And one last thing, I've made comprehensive guides for emulating games for Monster Hunter, all the way from PS2 all the way up to Nintendo Switch, including the PSP, Nintendo 3DS, Nintendo Wii, and more. If you're interested in any other Monster Hunter game being emulated, make sure you click the links on your screen. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so far we've covered how to get every PS2 Monster Hunter game. Now let's move into the next generation, PSP. This includes the likes of Monster Hunter Freedom, Monster Hunter Freedom 2, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, Monster Hunter Portable 3rd. Some of the best games in the franchise are all on PPSSPP, the PSP emulator. Now you're in luck for this one. This one is by far the easiest one to set up, so let's jump right into it. First things first, you can copy the link in the description to PPSSPP.org. Go ahead and do that right now, or simply search it in Google. Once you're here, click that download button. Now any of these options will work depending on what platform you're on. I'm on Windows, and I suspect most people who are using this guide are as well, so I'm going to go ahead and get that installer. And click that exe. It's going to ask you if you want to make changes to your device. So here you select English for your installation. It'll simply say ready to install, and it'll install on your C drive automatically. Click finish. The README will pop up, and PPSSPP will launch. So I already have games installed, but I'm going to teach you guys how to get those games ready to go, and we'll jump into the next part. So once we have our PPSSPP working and ready to go, let's get some games. So once again, navigate to the link in the description to r/roms megathread. Here we're gonna need to find a PSP, similar to how we found the PS2. So we're gonna click on Sony. We're gonna scroll down and find the PlayStation Portable. Once we're here, we're gonna click on link. Search Monster Hunter. Awesome. So there are a ton of different releases here to choose from. Now you can choose whatever you like based off of wherever you are from. For Monster Hunter Freedom, that was a Western release, so we don't actually need to do any translations. We also don't need to do any control patches because the PSP controls are already in line with what you would use for an Xbox controller. So in order to download Monster Hunter Freedom, we can simply choose this file right here. Same thing goes with Monster Hunter Freedom 2. Same thing goes for Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. The only one I would say that is worth downloading that's not in English is Portable 3rd. And this one we will need some translation patches, so we'll get to in a second. But that's how we get our games. So let's go ahead and get started with Monster Hunter Freedom. So first thing you're gonna do is click on this. Go ahead and get that download started. And once you have extracted that file, go ahead. Once you've downloaded that file, go ahead and extract it wherever you need to. I'm gonna extract it exactly where it's supposed to be. Once it's finished extracting, go ahead and open up your PPSSPP. Here I already have my games ready to go, but if I wanted to add a game, I just simply go to Games, Browse, find wherever you stored your game. For me, that was here. Once it does that, it'll open up these 3 zip folders. Now, that one, it'll install a game from zip file. You can go ahead and click install. And once you're done, you'll have your Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. If you click on play for the very first time, you can always click emulation and stop to stop your emulation. You will now see it on your recent games, and it'll always pop up whenever you launch PPSSPP. You will be good to go for Monster Hunter Freedom. Alright, now let's show how to get Monster Hunter Freedom 2 up and running. First things first, make sure to head over to the r/roms webpage, the link down in the description. Look for the Monster Hunter Freedom 2 USA zip. Now, of course, you could get these two if you like, but I'm going to click on Freedom 2 USA zip. Once that's going to happen, it's going to download. Alright, once that is downloaded, you can go ahead and extract it wherever you like. Again, I would choose the same game folder as your other games for ease of use. That creates our Monster Hunter Freedom 2 folder. Now to activate the game in PPSSPP, we're going to click back to the PPSSPP home page. We're going to click on Games, simply click Browse. Look for where you just put your new game, so Monster Hunter Freedom 2 USA, click OK. It shows right up here. Click it once to start the game. You can choose to start playing here, or you can click Stop Simulation. And then now you'll have it on your recents, always ready and available to play whenever you want. That's how we get Monster Hunter Freedom 2. The same process also goes for Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. You're going to first navigate to r/roms, look for Monster Hunter Freedom Unite USA. Now, I would choose this link. However, you have an option to play Monster Hunter Freedom Unite Plus. There is an upgraded version with different changes that make it a little nicer, a little more user-friendly. I prefer to play the vanilla version, so I'm not going to cover that in this video. You can very easily play the Freedom Unite version yourself without having to use any of the upgrades that they have. So I would recommend just using the vanilla version, but if you want to use something that's like a little nicer, like for example the siege quests won't be as arduous, you can do that if you choose. I would stick to the vanilla version. That's what I'm going to do. Freedom Unite, you're going to go ahead and download. And you're simply going to complete the exact same process. Once this is finished downloading. Alright, and once this is finally finished downloading, simply move the file wherever you like. So for me, I'm going to look for that in my folder. I'm going to place it where I'd like to place it. And once again, if you have a game directory individual folder, I would always recommend that. If you don't, that's okay. I'm going to go and just extract it to the same folder I've been using for this entire video. Once it's fully extracted, you'll see it's Freedom Unite USA. Once this occurs, you can go back to PPSSPP. If you want to add our new game, over to here, click on Browse, and locate your folder that you have your games in. On OK, and this should show up. And then once you click it, your game is all set and ready to go. You can stop your emulation and you will now be able to see it here to always be able to play it in the future. And that's how we do Freedom Unite. Alright, now let's figure out how to get Monster Hunter Portable 3rd working and in English. So first things first, we're going to head back to the r/roms subreddit and click on their list. Once again, this link will be provided in the description for you to use. Go ahead and click on Monster Hunter Portable 3rd Japan Asia. Once that's finished downloading, you'll see it here as Monster Hunter Portable 3rd zip file. Go ahead and extract it wherever you like. Again, I recommend a shared game folder. Once that's fully extracted, you'll see the file folder Monster Hunter Portable 3rd Japan Asia. But now we need to get it translated. So the way we're going to do that is heading to another link in the description, romhacking.com. So let's open up our handy dandy links page and go ahead and go to the website provided within the description. Once we are here, this is going to be our patcher for our original game. We're going to click download. Once it's here, go ahead and extract it where you like. And once it's finished downloading, go ahead and extract it to wherever you like and click on the Monster Hunter Portable 3rd Patcher v1.63 EXE. Once you're here, go ahead and browse. Find that Portable 3rd file you just downloaded and then click patch. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and open up PPSSPP. Go to games to add your new game. Click browse. Or exactly where you placed your new game, so Monster Hunter Portable 3rd Japan Asia, click OK. Once you've done that, this will pop up here and you can click it and you'll see your game is in English and you're good to go. If you stop the emulation, you'll see now it's in your recents, ready to play whenever you like. And that's how we do Monster Hunter Portable 3rd. Alright, so we've downloaded all 4 of the games we wanted to play on our PSP. Now the last thing left for us to do is configure controls. Now the way we do this is actually very simple. Once again, the PSP controls mirror the Xbox controller fairly well. So all you need to do is, and I'd recommend exploring these settings and checking whatever you like. All we really need to do is go to controls, control mapping, and here you simply map out each of your controls just as you would to your however you feel comfortable. As you can see, there's multiple saved inputs for each thing. So if you wanted to have some ways to X out of an emulation with a PC within a different hotkey for your controller, you could always do that. And you have lots of different kinds of options here to check. I would recommend just setting all of these the way that a standard PlayStation controller would go if translated to Xbox. But it's literally that simple. You won't have too much trouble and it's nice and easy. For Portable 3rd though, I'm pretty sure the A and B are reversed. You can set game specific controls for each game simply by creating a game config and then setting it for every game that you want to set it for. And that's as simple as it gets for controls for the PPSSPP. Alright, so now we want to play online through the PPSSPP emulator. So what you're going to do is you're going to follow this link in the description to hunstermonster.com. That's going to be where we're going to play all of our PSP online games. It's going to ask for your username and email, so go ahead and make one. Click the bottom prompt, verify you're not a robot, and click sign up. It's going to ask you to double check your email. You're going to say okay. Then you're going to move on to go check your email for a 12-digit code. Then you will get an email with a specific 12-digit code. Now this 12-digit code is very important for the next few steps, so make sure that you have this stashed or written down somewhere in some respect or manner, because you'll be needing this and a future email that you're going to get just in a minute to complete your Hunter's Verse registration so we can start playing all those PSP games online. So when you got that 12-digit code stashed away, go ahead and click on the Discord link within the hunstermonster.com guide that I have linked down below. We want to get invited directly to their Discord. It's going to ask us if we want to join Discord, and we can continue our steps to join Hunsterverse after joining their Discord. It's going to redirect us to a welcome page, and then it's simply going to ask us pretty soon to write out a statement that we have read the terms and conditions and pledge not to cheat and yada yada yada, the stuff that you always get. So simply join their Discord just as I did, and make sure that you just copy and paste exactly what they say for you to copy and paste in whichever language they have provided or that you feel comfortable typing. Go all the way down, find your message, and then type exactly what the statement said, and try not to make any mistakes because they will catch you, as I made many and I was caught because I was typing on a laptop, so that was pretty fun. And then once all of your once you've written it all and it's good to go, make sure that you don't have any mistakes as I did. I clearly had to edit mine. It was pretty funny simply because, yeah, the laptop has this weird like touch screen thing that's not very fun, but it's not a big deal. Make sure that the words are incorrect. I will not chat. I will actually chat, so that is a lie. So I gotta change that to cheat because I won't do that. Cheating is bad. We don't want to access any save files from somebody else or do any skips or anything like that. That kind of ruins the experience. We want to play Monster Hunter the way it was designed to play. After I ensured basically everything's good to go, awesome, we could proceed to our next step. After this, we're going to go to the bot commands activate section. Then we're going to do exclamation point activate, and here's where you're going to copy or to paste that 12-digit code that you got in your email. Make sure you do it letter for letter, make sure you don't mess it up. And then once you've finished the entire 12-digit code, press enter. After that, you're going to give it a little bit of time, and then it's going to essentially send you out an email that you're going to need to use later. But before we can do that, you can now go to bot commands down below and essentially get your IP that you're going to be using for the Hunsterverse services. So just simply exclamation point IP will do just fine. As you can see, the account that I just finished was registered, which is awesome. First, I'm going to click the exclamation point IP to see the IP address given to me that works for all of the 4 games shown. Now, the second email will have been sent to you. This is exactly what it looks like. This is your certificate. At the bottom of this email is a downloadable OpenVPN file, because in order to finish this, we're going to need OpenVPN. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click the link in the guide right here to go ahead and download OpenVPN. Going to launch up the website itself. It's very free. Trust me, it's not. There's some security, because some people have some security concerns, but with the Monster Hunters, if you strictly use it for Hunterverse, you'll have no problems whatsoever. Go and just click whatever link that satisfies your operating system, and the download will begin. After that, make sure you go ahead and start it, and we'll get this show on the road. Once we start downloading VPN, it's gonna go ahead and ask us to install. We're gonna click yes. For it a little bit. Once it finishes finally installing, configuring everything it needs to configure, all the different tunnel connections, then your OpenVPN will finish installing. Now, you don't actually have to go open it on your PC. It'll always be active in your system tray, ready to be activated whenever you like. It's going to give you this error. Don't worry about that. What's going to happen now is you're going to go to your system tray. You're going to click on that up arrow, and you're going to find the little desktop icon with a lock. We'll click on that one. And what you're going to need to do now is you're going to need to import that file you just downloaded from the certificate. Right click, import file. Now search for that exact file that you just downloaded from the certificate email. Mine was in downloads after I downloaded it from the email. Click on it and I click open, and you are all set and ready to go to the PSPP. Alright, so now that you've configured the OpenVPN, we just need to configure PPSSP to play nice. So once you've launched PPSSPP, you're gonna want to go change your nickname by going to the settings, system, and you're down here. You're gonna go and change your nickname to whatever you like. Please make it the same as your Discord name. That would be extremely useful. If you don't change this nickname, you won't be able to connect, so be sure that you do that. And you're gonna go ahead and go to networking. Go ahead and go to the enter network settings, networking, and then enable networking LAN. You want to go ahead and click that button. Once you do that, you want to go ahead and ensure that you change pro ad hoc address and enter the host IP you got from typing !E. Exactly right here. You're going to click this. It's going to ask you to enter whichever one you want. Go ahead and enter the exact IP given to you from Huntersverse down to whatever it was exactly told you in the Discord. After that, you are good to go. If I were you, I'd recommend adding changes as well. Make sure you enable network and quick chat. They're very, very important to use in the game. After that, you are good to go. And the way we do it, just to give a little bit example, because it's the same for all games except for Freedom 2 for the most part. If you want to play multiplayer in absolutely any of these games, it'll be the exact same. So I'm going to go ahead and start up Freedom Unite. Is everything's going to be normal. Just the one thing you want to ensure is that your OpenVPN is on. The way you do ensure that is by clicking that button in the system tray and double clicking it. Then once it's green, that tells you that it's good to go. So now I'm right here. I'm about to enter the gathering hall to play multiplayer. So they're going to go up here. It's got two options: offline and online gathering hall. Play online, we click the online button. It'll say network initialized, and it'll give you all these gathering halls with a maximum of 4 players that you can choose from. So I'm just going to choose 2. Simply wait. Count down to finish as it's initializing. Voila, you can now play multiplayer Monster Hunter on the PSP. Know that this works for Freedom Unite, Portable 3rd, and Freedom in the same way. We've figured out how to do multiplayer on the PSP. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please consider going down below, giving us a like, and hitting that subscribe button, as it really helps us out. Be sure also to leave a comment telling us what you want us to play next, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!